Oh, what's up, guys? I'm doing a video this afternoon talking about the radfords. Now, the radfords are not really a family I tend to cover that much on my channel. I mean, my bear with me a minute while I put my charger. Um, obviously a lot of the videos I do, I focus on the more kind of controversial family flubbers, so to speak. And I wouldn't consider the Radfords to be as controversial as other family flubbers like the Inghams, the Inghams, the Sullivans, Honey Jolies, etc. I mean, yeah, the Radfords are a little bit controversial, but they're not. I certainly wouldn't say that they're quite as controversial, as people like the Inghams, the Honey Jolies, and the Sullivans are. Um, I mean, obviously, I've given my thoughts on the Radfords before, and the fact that they've sort of associated themselves with Chris Ingham, and the fact they've allowed Chris Ingham to be around their hits, after what he was accused of. It's like, why would you ultimately take that risk? Why would you want someone like him around your kids? He's not someone to be trusted at the end of the day. You know, the problem with the side of it with Zero Null is they are stupid enough to believe that Chris didn't do anything and that the allegations against him made against him weren't true. When we all know that the allegations made against him were indeed true. The Sussex police, as I mentioned yesterday, Sussex police confirmed that that messages sent by him were of a sexually inappropriate nature. As I said yesterday in the big video that I did yesterday, Chris has never actually specifically denied sending inappropriate messages. He's denied everything else, but he's never really denied that as far as I'm aware. You know, I mean, we're talking about a man who, that they've allowed this man to be around their teenage daughters. A man who is known to be a danger to teenage girls. I've pulled them out on Instagram before. I mean, I've blocked on their Instagram now, but I pulled them out on TikTok. Um, I pulled them out on Facebook. I've even actually pulled them out on Facebook today. I posted a couple of posts on there, calling them out over the fact that they ultimately, for associating with, Chris Ingham and having him around their kids. It's like, why would you want someone like that around your kids? Um, when you think about what he was accused of and the allegations that were made against him, it's like, why would you want him around your kids? As a parent, it's about protecting your kids. And they're not really, like, allowing someone like that to be around their kids, they're not really protecting their kids in a way that they should genuinely be protecting them. Like, that is the major cause of concern, is that it feels like they're not really protecting their kids in the way that they should be doing that. Essentially, well, they're not really safe. There's no safeguarding really. It is a bit of a child safety concern, the fact that they would allow someone like that to ultimately be around their kids. And the fact that they would take that risk. No decent parent would do that. You know, we all know that Chris did what he did. We all know that he's not an innocent man. You know, the Radfords have no common sense. I'm sorry to be harsh, but I can't exactly not be harsh when they're allowing a proven child groomer to be around their kids. I mean, what kind of, that's fucking stupidity at its very best. It's so fucking stupid allowing that man around their kids. After what he did. You know, they need that. Sue and Noel really need their heads tested. When it comes to the fact that they've chosen to associate themselves with Chris, it's like, what the hell are they doing? The fact that they've done that, like, they can't not expect some sort of backlash from that. They can't expect people to, they aren't expecting not, when they're basically associating themselves with a proven child groomer and allowing a proven child groomer to be around their kids, they can't not expect, that then they should expect backlash. They can't not expect to get backlash for that. But they are going to get backlash for that because they shouldn't be allowing someone like that around their fucking kids. I'm sorry, but they shouldn't. What sort of idiot? They are idiots if they're allowing a proven fucking child groomer to be around their fucking kids. Like, you know, the, I've seen some stupid things, but that really does take the biscuit. You know, it's like, in what way is that considered a sensible thing, allowing someone like that to be around your kids? Like, why would you? I mean, when you think about what Hussein did, like what the allegations were that were made against him. We're talking about a man who cheated on his wife, slept with a fan, and groomed and sent sexually inappropriate messages to teenage girls. Sussex police confirmed he sent sexually inappropriate messages. He's never denied that. Those are the facts. Sussex police confirmed he sent sexually inappropriate messages. He's never denied that. He's never actually, as far as I'm aware of, denied. He denied sending sexually inappropriate messages. He denied everything else, but he's never denied that. That really has to be said. At the end of the day, the Radfords need their fucking heads tested. Do they really think they're not going to get backlash for associating themselves with someone like that, who is as controversial as Chris Ingham is, and for having somebody like that around their kids? But then again, they do say that, they do say, don't they, birds of a feather flock together. So, you know, I mean, we all know that Noel was a bit of a pedo. He was what, 17 when Sue first got pregnant, and she was 13. I mean, was he 17, 18? I think, wasn't he, when Sue first got pregnant, and she was only 13. So it was a bit inappropriate, if I'm being honest. He is a bit of a creep himself. I mean, if I was Sue and Noel, I wouldn't want someone like that around my kids. I wouldn't think it was safe to have somebody like that around my kids. It's not a risk that any parent any normal decent parent would be willing to take. Is having someone like that around their kids. I am honestly lost for words. Words fail me sometimes. Admittedly, before I used to respect the Radfords. I mean, the only thing that I wasn't too keen I didn't really. I remember, I've defended them a lot in the past and said, I don't think they really brag or show off as much as people claim they do, but, knowing that they've associated themselves with Chris and they're allowing Chris to be around their kids, I've lost all respect for them. I've lost all respect that I had for them. If they hadn't have done that, if they hadn't associated themselves with the Inghams and allowed Chris Ingham to be around their kids, I probably wouldn't be as harsh as I am. I probably wouldn't be as critical about it. But there's nothing right about the fact that they've allowed him to be around their kids. There's nothing sensible about that. There's nothing right about that. The Radfords, as far as I'm concerned, deserve every single ounce of backlash they get for this. The fact that they're allowing somebody like him, like that man, to be around their kids, not a risk that I'd be willing to take, not a risk that any normal decent parent would be willing to take. You should, it's like, why would you want someone like that around your kids? Someone that's been accused, that has such serious allegations made against them. Which we know that Chris has had serious allegations and made against him. Allegations which we know are proven to be true. But Sue and Noel have obviously been fed that bullshit by Chris and Sarah, that the allegations are not true. And of course they're always going to say that because that is what they want people to believe. Why would they want people to believe the allegations are true? Of course they're always going to tell people that the allegations are not true. They're always going to say that because that is what they want people to believe. And if you're someone like Sue and Noel, then yes, you would be stupid and daft enough to believe every word that comes out of their mouths, and to believe that the allegations made against Chris weren't true. I mean, you'd have to be some kind of idiot or moron to believe that. If people honestly believe the allegations weren't true or are not true, they are some kind of an idiot or moron. That's not. I don't know what else to say about this. It's just ridiculous. The fact that they would allow someone like him to be around their kids after what he did. And when you consider the allegations made against him, it's like, why would you want someone that controversial? Around your kids. Why would you want someone around your kids who's known to actually be a danger to teenage girls? Which we know is fucking true, because he is known to be a fucking danger to teenage girls. That is the issue. I can very well see him asking one of Sue and Noel's teenage daughters to go singing Dipper with him in the Scottish Lake. I wouldn't put that past him. The guy, regardless of what anyone says, what any of the iFams say, he's not someone to be trusted. He's not someone that people should want around their kids. You know, it's like I just don't know what to say. Like, it's hard to sympathise with Sue and Noel when they've basically allowed a private, when they've basically associated themselves with a proven child rumor and allowed a proven child rumor to be around their kids. You know, there's no justifications for that. You know, there's no there's no excuses for allowing someone like that with someone that has such a controversial reputation to be around your kids. And we all know why he has such a controversial reputation is because of what he did. This is never gonna go away. The radfords are not gonna stop getting backlash for associating themselves with the inghams. They're always gonna get backlash for that. You know, it's like they can't, as I said, they can't not expect to get backlash for associating themselves with a proven child rumour and for allowing a proven child rumour to be around their kids. So many people are gonna look at that and think, well, what the fuck are they doing? Why the fuck would they want us around their kids? If you're an idiot or a moron, you would look at that and go, well, there's nothing wrong with them having us around their kids because he didn't do anything. Bullshit. If people believe that, then fuck, they need their fucking heads tested. As the whole thing, oh, he didn't do anything, he's innocent, is absolute bullshit. And I don't want to be hearing this, oh, he's innocent till proven guilty. People need to fucking, stick that where the sun doesn't shine. Because the sun, they need to look at the facts. And the facts are, Sussex police confirmed he sent messages that were of a sexually inappropriate nature. That came from them. Sussex police confirmed that. You know, and that is the man that Sue and Noel have allowed to be around their kids. That's the man that Sue and Noel Sue and Noel Bradford have associated themselves with. How fucking stupid? How much more fucking stupid can they get? That's stupidity and fucking, idiocy at its very best. To allow someone like that to be around your kids, like, what fucking planet are they on? To think that's okay, to allow someone like that, who is known to be a danger to teenage girls, to be around your kids, including your teenage daughters. That is not a risk that they should be willing to take. But of course they will take that risk because they're incredibly fucking daft and incredibly fucking stupid. And no, I'm not going to apologise for saying anything I've said so far in this video, because everything I've said so far in this video is true. And I stand by what and the finish with me is I stand by what I say. I know that some people might not agree with what I say, but I don't really give a flying rat's ass fuck. I say the things that need to say. Whether people like the things I say or not, I don't care. But Sue and Noel absolutely deserve to be called out for this. I only hope Chris needs to be careful if they all go to Scotland. He needs to be careful. Scotland really don't want him there, and if people in Scotland find out he's there, there's going to be trouble. It's just absolutely crazy. The fact that someone Noel would allow someone like that to be around his and not expect to get backlash for that because people are always going to be angry about that. They're going to look at that and think, well, why the fuck would you want someone like that around your kids? Where's the common sense in that? Where's the common sense in allowing someone that is as controversial as Christina is to be around your kids? Where is the common sense in allowing a proven child groomer to be around your kids? Where is the common sense in allowing a man who cheated on his wife and slept with a fan and groomed and sent sexually inappropriate messages to teenage girls to be around your kids? Why the fuck would you want to associate with someone like that? Why would you want someone like that around your kids? Where is the fucking common sense there? There is no fucking common sense there whatsoever. But allowing someone like that around your kids is fucking beyond stupid. And it's the stupidest thing they've ever fucking done, associating themselves with the Inghams. And I only hope that Sue and Noel are made to regret associating themselves with Chris and Sarah, and are made to regret allowing Chris to be around their kids. I only hope they're made to regret that decision. I only hope that actually comes back to bite them on the arse. It's not often I say that people deserve the backlash they get, but Sue and Noel, they really do deserve that right now. And that when you consider the fact that they've associated themselves with a proven child groomer and allowed a fucking proven child groomer to be around their fucking kids, then yeah, they absolutely deserve every single solitary ounce of backlash they get from people. Because people ain't gonna take kindly to that. People ain't gonna take kindly to the fact that they've allowed a proven child groomer to be around their kids and that they've associated themselves with someone like that. Why would no one in their right mind would want to be associated with somebody who cheated on his wife and slept with a fan and sexually blatantly groomed and sent sexually inappropriate messages to teenage girls. But if you're so not, then they're a pair of fucking idiots to have someone like him around their fucking kids. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, what the fuck are they even doing? I mean, there's brainless and clueless, and then there's that. Oh my god, Jesus fucking Christ! I said this the other month. They shouldn't have him around their kids, and I stand by that. I stand by I stand by this. They should not be associating themselves with Chris Ingham. They should not be allowing someone like Chris Ingham to be around their fucking kids after what he did, and after the allegations that were made against him, allegations that have been proven to be true. There is evidence out there that proves that these allegations are true. Sussex police confirmed he sent sexually inappropriate messages. He has never actually fucking specifically denied that. He's denied everything else, but he's never denied that. That is what people are overlooking here. As I said yesterday, I'm not going to stop talking about this. I'm not going to stop calling Sue and Noel out for this. I'll call them out for this as much as I have to, whether that's on TikTok, whether that's on Facebook, whether it's on YouTube. Because they deserve to be called out for this. They deserve to be called out for the fact they've associated themselves with a proven fucking child groomer and allowed a proven fucking child groomer to be around their fucking kids. Because they're a pair of insane fucking dickheads. Who think that, that is they're the stupidest pair of dickheads I've ever seen to allow someone like that to be around their kids. What fucking planet are they on? What are they thinking? Like, fuck me, man. Some people are so fucking stupid in that they think that racket very well. I honestly don't know what to say. I really genuinely fucking don't. I wish I did know what to say, but I honestly fucking don't. Like, don't get me wrong, but I honestly don't know what to fucking say. But I wish I did, but honestly, to be genuinely honest with you, I really don't. Because there isn't really anything positive I could say about in Sue and Noel right now, considering what we know. They absolutely deserve to be called out for this, 110%. You know, there's nothing right or decent about having someone like him or allowing someone like him, someone like fucking Chris Ingham to be around their kids. Like, that's fucking stupidity at its very best. Well, I've said my piece. I shall leave it there. I hope you enjoyed this video anyway. And I'll see you for another one soon. Bye bye.